All right, let's jump right into this explainer and unpack exactly how to vet a cosmetic dentist. Because let's be real, every clinic website out there claims to be trusted, experienced, and award winning. But honestly, almost none of that is actually verifiable just from a homepage. We need to dig a lot deeper here. This is your body we're talking about, not just some impulse purchase. So today, we're going to build a literal protective shield around your smile and, your wallet too. I've structured this into 5 clear sections so you have a solid, actionable toolkit. We'll hit the high cost of mistakes, a 7-point vetting checklist, red flags that mean you should walk away, essential questions you need to ask, and then we'll wrap up with a real-life tale of 2 consultations. Starting off with Section 1, the high cost of mistakes, and why this is absolutely nothing like buying a phone plan. So the most crucial thing right out of the gate is a total mindset shift. It's so easy to walk into a clinic kind of thinking you're just buying a product, right? Like picking out a new smartphone. But the reality, it's much heavier than that. You are allowing someone to make permanent, irreversible changes to your body. Enamel literally doesn't grow back. So taking 10 extra minutes to vet at clinic today is infinitely more valuable than agonizing over shade charts after the fact. Because if you get this wrong, it's not just, a wasted afternoon. You could be looking at years, literally years, of painful correction work. We're talking veneers placed with poor margins that actually trap plaque, causing aggressive decay right underneath the restoration. Or an overly aggressive whitening protocol that leaves you with lasting nerve irritation. And honestly, perhaps the worst one, a rush smile design that completely ignores your natural bite, leading to severe chronic jaw discomfort. It's really not just about how the teeth look, it's the whole shebang of how they actually fit together. Moving on to Section 2, the 7-point vetting checklist. This is all about separating real skill from a slick sales pitch. Number 1 on the list, you gotta verify their license and cosmetic-specific credentials. Now, every practicing dentist has a base license, but that's just the bare minimum. You need to ask specifically about their continuing education. General dental school covers the basics, sure, but the real artistry, the shade matching, aesthetic proportions, advanced veneer prep, that's usually learned through dedicated, specialized training. Never just assume that general dental competence automatically equals cosmetic mastery. Number 2 is absolutely crucial. Check real before and after photos. And I really want to emphasize the word real here. You want to see dozens of consistent photos featuring the exact same lighting, the same camera angle, and the same background in both shots. If the after photo looks suspiciously like some heavily filtered Instagram shoot, while the before is a grainy, harsh clinical picture, yeah, that is a massive red flag that the outcome was totally staged. For the rest of the checklist, you want to verify their actual case volume. Seriously, just ask them outright how many veneer cases they handle a month. Next, skip those perfectly curated 5-star website testimonials and hunt down independent reviews to spot the real trends. You'll also want to look for a digital mock-up planning process because modern cosmetic dentistry should never be a guessing game. While you're there, look around the room for visible technology like digital scanners and high-level sterilization. And finally, trust your gut. A great dentist will explain the trade-offs honestly and will absolutely never pressure you. All right, Section 3, red flags to walk away. Basically, when to head straight for the door. Before you even sit down in the chair, you need to have a firm answer to this question. When should you literally walk out the door instead of signing anything? It is absolutely vital to establish your boundaries before the consultation starts, well before any slick sales pressure kicks in and tries to override your logic. So, here are your absolute walkaway triggers. If a clinic hesitates or flat out refuses to show their credentials, leave. If a dentist recommends their absolute most expensive, flashy package before they've even done a proper physical exam of your bite and enamel, they're giving you a sales pitch, not a medical diagnosis. Watch out for providers who won't discuss cheaper alternatives or give these really vague, evasive answers about their experience without citing specific case numbers. Also, never ever put down a same-day deposit for elective treatment if you're feeling pressured. And finally, beware of unusually cheap pricing. If it's way below the market rate, they are almost certainly cutting some really dangerous corners on lab quality or materials. That brings us to Section 4, essential questions to ask. Think of this as your personal consultation script. Consider this your ultimate cheat sheet. When you're in there, first ask, how many cases exactly like mine have you handled this year? You're looking for a specific number here, not a deflection. Second, can I see photos of similar past cases? They should easily pull up consistent, unedited examples. Third, what are my other options? A green flag dentist is going to honestly discuss the pros and cons of less invasive alternatives. Fourth, what could go wrong? Now, if they say nothing, run. You want candid honesty about the risks. And finally, is this reversible? A truly trustworthy clinic will be blatantly honest with you about the permanence of removing enamel. If they dodge even 2 of these questions, that's your cue to get a second opinion.
And finally, Section 5, a tale of 2 consultations, because the proof really is in the outcome.
Let's look at a real, anonymized composite example from Muscat. So a patient visits a clinic they found through this flashy social media ad promising an instant Hollywood smile. That dentist gave them a brief 5-minute exam, aggressively pushed for 8 veneers, and demanded a same-day deposit. Thankfully, the patient felt uneasy about the whole thing and wisely sought a second opinion. Now, the second dentist, they took 40 minutes for a comprehensive medical diagnosis, really checking the bite and sensitivity. The result of that? They recommended only 4 veneers, handling the rest with simple whitening and some minor bonding. 50%! By finding a dentist who was willing to recommend less work rather than more, the patient achieved an identical, beautiful visual result, but cut their final cost by nearly half. I mean, just think about that. And honestly, more importantly, they preserved half of their natural, healthy teeth from being permanently shaved down. That right there is the incredible power of getting a second opinion. And this isn't just anecdotal. A peer-reviewed study published via the National Library of Medicine found that patients consistently rely on verified credentials, professionalism, and the quality of communication, way more than just pricing alone, when deciding to trust a provider. Genuine patient trust is built through those 7 checklist items we just talked about. It is never built through slick marketing claims or the lure of unusually cheap pricing. So if you're starting your search in places like Muscat, look for a few practical green flags. Seek out clinics that specifically offer digital smile design. This technology is absolutely a game changer because it literally forces the dentist to meticulously map out your facial proportions on a screen before a single drill ever touches your teeth. Also, prioritize location convenience. Look for clinics in accessible areas like Al Mouj. Proper cosmetic work requires multiple unrushed visits, and trust me, you don't want to be skipping important appointments just because the clinic is a pain to drive to. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Will your next consultation genuinely earn your trust, or are they just asking for your money? Remember, the right cosmetic dentist is going to explain things without pressure, discuss all your alternatives, and prove their skill with real, unedited results. Never, ever settle for a sales pitch when your health is on the line. Before you open your wallet, you really have to ask yourself, have they truly earned the right to alter your smile forever?